Spring is in the air, which means that Big East basketball is back at the Garden. The conference tournament kicks off Wednesday. Who's going to win it all, y'all? St. John's, UConn, or is a sleeper team going to step up and take the throne? Let's talk some Big East basketball in the tournament with our college basketball writer and co-host of Eye of the Red Storm, Zach Braziller. Zach, what's going on, my man? There's pollen outside at other people's garden, so let's go inside to the garden to watch some basketball. I just kind of created that just now, so you guys can laugh if you want. The Johnnies took the regular season title, but MSG is considered Storrs South. So which team do you feel like is under the most pressure to win the Big East tournament, UConn or St. John's, and why?
I'll go UConn. They've been a top 10 team all year. They didn't win the league title. It was a surprise. So I'm going UConn just because there's more pressure. We got to see this UConn team respond after some shaky play here over the last month.
You feel like Patino's guys have a little pressure on them to sweep it, not only win the regular season title, but to go and take the tournament title as well.
Look, they obviously want to win the league title. There's no question about it. But I think there's more on UConn here to win this conference tournament. Look, Patino wants to win everything. There's no doubt. I just think when you consider that UConn is the team that people thought is a national title contender, there's a little more pressure on them to win it all here.
For St. John's, how do you think winning the tournament title versus not winning the tournament title affects their seeding for March Madness?
Look, I think there are five right now. Could they be a four if they win this tournament? Possibly, but I don't think a lot will change for St. John's if they win this tournament. 4 or 5 is probably what they're looking at right now. I think there are five. They beat UConn in the Big East final. Could they be a four? Possibly, but I don't see there being a huge difference if they win this title here.
All right, both those teams are the Goliaths in this Big East tournament, but who are some of the Davids that we should keep an eye out on? Who are some of your sleepers that you feel like can make some noise and win this tournament?
Keep an eye on Seton Hall. Look, they're really tough. If they make shots, I think there's a possibility for them to win this title. Look, they played UConn and St. John's really tough 4 times. They just don't make shots. They have to make shots to win this tournament here.
How many teams do you think will represent the Big East in the NCAA tournament, and why?
Three. Three.
Three?
St. John's, UConn, Villanova. Unless there's a bid stealer here in this tournament, unless you get someone else outside of the top three, wasn't a great wasn't a great year for the Big East. No question about it. I know the league would love someone other than the big three to win this tournament here.
All right, we haven't done this in a long time, but let's take these folks, Zach, to school. Let's get your final thoughts going into the Big East tournament.
Look, I'd be surprised if it's not St. John's, UConn in the final. They're the two best teams in the league. They were the two best teams by far all year. Uh, I think we'll get Saturday night UConn St. John's for a third time.
All right, Zach Braziller, appreciate you hopping on with us, my man.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.